and further behind the rest of the United Kingdom. It's little wonder that Welsh voters chose to send a message to their politicians in the referendum last June. That should have been a wake-up call, but it wasn't. Labour, Plaid Cymru and Liberal Democrat politicians ignored Wales instead. Worse, they closed ranks, with Plaid Cymru propping up Labour in Wales in order to defend the status quo, as they're determined to do in Westminster too. That would put Jeremy Corbyn in power in a weak and unstable coalition of chaos. And you don't negotiate the right Brexit deal for Britain from a position of weakness. Jeremy Corbyn's coalition of chaos would deliver higher taxes, higher debt and higher unemployment. Labour's policies may have been written by Jeremy Corbyn in London, but the people of Wales will get the bill. But it's not just that Jeremy Corbyn is too weak and shambolic to get the right deal for Britain in Europe. It's not just that his fantasy manifesto would leave families across Wales picking up the bill. It's also that even traditional Labour supporters, people like those here in Wrexham and across Wales, who've loyally given the Labour Party their allegiance for generations, people taught by their parents and grandparents that Labour was a party that shared their values and stood up for their community. They look at what Jeremy Corbyn believes and are appalled. They see a party that once believed in hard work, now headed by Jeremy Corbyn, who wants to crush aspiration and desert those who hope for a better life. A party that once stood for our union of nations, now headed by a man who is willing to collaborate with separatists in order to get into power. A Labour Party that first established our independent nuclear deterrent to keep our country safe, now led by a man who wants to get rid of it and even talks about abolishing the army. The prospect of him walking through the door of number 10, flanked by an avowed Marxist like John McDonnell and an incompetent Diane Abbott, all propped up by the Liberal Democrats, Plaid Cymru and others, should scare us all. The risk is real and the stakes are high. A loss of just 6 seats will cost my government our majority and create a hung parliament. Just 6 fewer MPs means a hung parliament in which the minor parties will flock to prop Jeremy Corbyn up. That will deliver nothing but chaos. It means Jeremy Corbyn, imposed as Prime Minister, propped up by the Lib Dems, Plaid Cymru and SNP, all of whom oppose the decision to leave the EU and want to fight to keep us in. And who knows what deals Jeremy Corbyn will do to get their support, because we know he would do anything to get their support. And after the weekend, we now know the tactics he is prepared to adopt to get into number 10. He has no strong plan for Britain, which takes on the country's long-term challenges, like I have. No, he wants to sneak over the line by manipulating the fears of old and vulnerable people and falsely claiming that families will lose their house as a result of our social care policy. That is shameful, and it is a shameful abdication of responsibility. So today, I want to put an end to Jeremy Corbyn's fake claims and clarify any doubts about our social care policy and the family home. My manifesto is honest and upfront about our challenges. It includes plans to strengthen the social care system with more and sustainable funding to cope with the long-term pressures caused by the fact that we are an ageing society. Jeremy Corbyn wants to duck this reality and play politics. But there will be 2 million more people over 75 years old in Britain over the next decade alone. Our social care system will collapse unless we make some important decisions now about how we fund it. That is why we have to act. And it is why, to give people security, we included in our plans measures to make sure nobody has to sell the family home to pay for care. And we also said that we would protect £100,000 of your savings. So however expensive your care, you can pass something on to your family. Let's be clear. This plan replaces the existing system, where people often get poor quality care and stand to lose almost all their savings and assets, including the family home. This plan addresses the worry people have when they have a loved one with a long-term condition and they don't know how they're going to afford to care for them. So these are good and sensible plans. They provide the beginning of a solution to social care without increasing taxes on younger generations. And I should say, we are the only party in this election prepared to face up to the reality of our ageing society and offer a long-term solution. But since my manifesto was published, the proposals have been subject to fake claims made by Jeremy Corbyn. The only things he has left to offer in this campaign are fake claims, fear and scaremongering. So I want to make a further point clear. This manifesto says that we will come forward with a consultation paper, a government green paper. And that consultation will include an absolute limit on the amount people have to pay for their care costs. So let me reiterate. We are proposing the right funding model for social care. We will make sure nobody has to sell their family home to pay for care. We will make sure there's an absolute limit on what people need to pay. And you will never have to go below £100,000 of your savings, so you will always have something to pass on to your family. And what is Jeremy Corbyn's plan? He promises a nonsensical fantasy policy that can only be funded through massive tax rises on younger generations. In fact, just recently, he threatened to increase the basic rate of income tax for millions of people from 20 to 25% to fund social care. That tells you everything you need to know about Jeremy Corbyn's answer to the problem. The alternative is that he sticks to the status quo, which too often provides poor care and leaves old and vulnerable people having to sell their family homes. This manifesto, our manifesto, provides a better way. With it, I'm leading Britain, while Mr Corbyn is simply scaremongering among the elderly and the vulnerable. It is a plan for a stronger union and a stronger Wales, a plan to respond to and deliver on the concerns of ordinary working people everywhere, a plan to build a country that works for everyone, not just a privileged few. It is a detailed programme for government, rooted in the hopes and aspirations of ordinary working people in towns and cities across the country. A clear plan to meet the big challenges we face together. Because unlike the other parties, we are being upfront and honest with the British people about the scale of the task we face. That's what leadership is about. Not ducking the big decisions, painting grand and fantastical visions, pretending you can have something for nothing, and no difficult decisions need to be made. Leadership means being straight with people about the challenges ahead and the hard work required to overcome them. And that is what this manifesto does. It sets out the 5 great challenges faced by our country. 1, the need for a strong economy. 2, responding to Brexit and a changing world. 3, tackling enduring social divisions. 4, responding to an ageing society. And 5, facing up to fast-changing technology. And it sets out what we will do to address each one. And these are challenges that we all face right across our United Kingdom. And the lesson of Britain's history is that we all do best when we tackle challenges together, united. That's how we've overcome obstacles in the past, and that is how we will make a success of our future. In setting out our plan, we're offering a vision for our United Kingdom, not just for the next 5 years, but for the years and decades beyond. A country where everyone has the economic security they need and the chance to live a secure and full life, a prosperous country where each generation can do better than the last. But that all starts with getting the right Brexit deal, one that works for the whole United Kingdom. When I sit down with the Prime Ministers, Presidents and Chancellors of Europe, I will do so as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. When I fight for the best deal, it will be a deal that works for the whole United Kingdom. And when I talk about a better future for our country, I mean the whole United Kingdom. Because unlike Jeremy Corbyn, I believe heart and soul in this great union of nations. And if you give me your backing to represent you at the negotiating table in Europe in the months ahead, I will fight for every person in this United Kingdom, young and old, rich and poor, city, town, country, and all the villages and hamlets in between. It is my fierce determination to get the right deal for every single person in this country. And every vote for me and my team in this election will strengthen my hand in the negotiations and help me deliver the right deal for Britain. A vote for anyone else is a vote to send Jeremy Corbyn to represent us in Europe instead. Because it may say Labour, Liberal Democrat or Plaid Cymru on the ballot, but it's Jeremy Corbyn that gets the vote. And if we get Brexit right, if we are strong in our negotiations with the EU, we can do more to build a stronger Britain and a stronger Wales here at home. Too often in the past, UK governments have tended to devolve and forget. The government I lead will put that right. That is why this manifesto contains clear commitments to spread opportunity and prosperity beyond London and the South East, and to improve the economic security of people here in Wales. Why it includes a specific commitment to bring forward a North Wales growth deal, connecting North Wales with Northern England to encourage cross-border working, building on the success of the Cardiff City deal and Swansea Bay City deal that I signed in South Wales just a few weeks ago. It's why we're committed to bringing down the barriers to trade and commerce between South Wales and the wider UK by scrapping the tolls on the 7 crossings for good, helping 25 million drivers who use the crossings every year and providing a £100 million boost to the local economy. It's why we will introduce a new UK shared prosperity fund, replacing ineffective and restrictive EU structural funds with a new targeted scheme, whose sole purpose will be to reduce the inequalities that exist within and between the 4 nations of our United Kingdom. And it's why, as we leave the European Union, we will ensure that power sits closer to the people of the UK than ever before. That is why, as powers are repatriated to the UK, we expect to be able to increase the decision-making powers of the Welsh Government, as long as no new barriers to living and doing business within our own union are created. It's why the government I lead will ensure the modern industrial strategy that we are pioneering will benefit people, towns and businesses across Wales. That will help to create the high-skilled, high-paid jobs of the future and give our young people every chance of getting on and leading a full and happy life. As Prime Minister of this United Kingdom, that is what I want for everyone in our country. That is because of a simple truth. Across the United Kingdom, we may be 4 nations, but at heart we are one people, and we achieve more together. We all have a stake in each other's success. We all have a stake in our shared future. That is why this election is so important, because this election, more than any other, is about the long-term future of our country, not just about the next 5 years, but the years beyond. Not just about our future, but the future of our children and our children's children too. We can get the best possible deal from Brexit. We can redouble our efforts to make things better here at home. And we can show that with hard work, with a clear vision and the right plan, a mainstream, active, determined government can deliver a better, more secure future for ordinary working people across this land. We need strong and stable leadership to do it.